Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Cleve, Loveland, and Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger, for all of your real estate news. I am Cleve Loveland, broker owner of Loveland Properties. We've been giving you radio news in Central Florida, anything to do with real estate and mortgages for over 25 years. I've been on the air doing that. My family's been selling Central Florida real estate for over 40 years in Central Florida. Chances are you look up and down your street, one of those rooftops, I've helped buy it, I've helped sell it, I've helped manage it as an investment property, and you can call us with any real estate questions. We can help you answer them. And we're going to talk about interest rates. We're going to talk about inventory. We're going to talk about this market, which is on fire. I wouldn't say it's overheated. We're not heading towards a crash. That's the big question, because real estate's been hot for about 10 years now at least. And it's getting better. We got incredible, unbelievable interest rates, as the Lone Ranger would say. But inventory in Central Florida, I get a report every month, and I see this firsthand because I'm out there trying to get listings and list properties, and they are few and far between. And as soon as I get them, they are under contract, especially if it's under $400,000. So if you hear about anybody having trouble selling, first of all, they're probably got they chose the wrong horse to ride. They need to call me at 407-352-8118. But Central Florida, we've only got about 4,000 homes for sale. But it's spring, a lot of people moving around, vaccines circulating. Part of this inventory shortage is people a little fearful of COVID, or they got somebody at risk in their home, not sure what's going on. Possibly there's a small percentage of the population affected by, they might be in tourism, they might be in the food and restaurant business. And all of those things play in. But Central Florida, we've got people coming in from the rest of the country to buy our houses. We've got other people coming in from other parts of Florida because we are less expensive than the east and west coast of Florida, even Jacksonville. So people coming around here, we've got a nice hot market in Central Florida, should stay that way for a long time. No crash in the near future.
Oh, and Disney's starting to open back up again. I saw on the news this morning that, they're going to start increasing capacity in there as well. And
where are we at with interest rates? Because I think we lost a bit in the market, and now
we did. We lost about 100 basis points plus in the market, which has equated to a little bit higher interest rates, but they're still very attractive. You can still get interest rates possibly if your credit is really good in the high twos.
Oh, wow, okay.
Or low threes.
That's great.
So, there's still opportunity. If we look at the grand scheme of things, look at the last 25 years, your average interest rate is 7.5%. When was the last time you guys saw a 7.5% interest rate? I haven't seen one in a long
Since 2000.
time. Yeah, it's been a long time. However, I will tell you that the opportunity is there. But as interest rates go up, and they're going to continue to go up, you guys, it can't happen. They're not going down. You're going to see them go up. But as interest rates go up and as the cost to build goes up, then and inflation takes into effect, then your buying power starts to decrease. And I can assure you, it is unlikely that your pay will be in direct proportion moving forward with the cost of inflation. It's just, there's no way for it to keep up.
So don't wait for it to slow down.
Yeah. If you think it's going to slow down or we're going to see one of these crashes because of foreclosures, banks got smart in 2008. They lost their shirt. They didn't know how to deal with the foreclosure market. They didn't know how to deal with the short sale market. And now they understand that they'd be more willing to work with somebody that's straggling or struggling to make their payments and be able to add them on to the end of the loan or modify the loan than they would be to foreclose on it. So we're not going to see that giant influx of foreclosures or short sales coming in the future. You're just not. Banks are smarter than that.
And the one thing we're dealing with a lot, Bruce, is I'm dealing with a lot of multiple offers. And this is something I've actually picked it up from Australian real estate, believe it or not. 2004, when things were getting overheated, I attended a class taught by a gentleman who was stuck in Australia when 9/11 happened. And he decided he's going to stay there and go to some real estate classes. And he was a realtor. And he said that basically they had everything on auction because homeownership there, they had a really steady market, but they just did things differently than we do here in the U.S. So what I developed my market maker program based on this. We put a house on the market. If you go on the market right now and you take all the first offers in the first couple of days, you might not see the best buyer because that buyer might be stuck working. He's working a 24-hour shift at the hospital. He's a doctor, whatever it might be. So we do where we put a house on the market. I've got a couple listings I'm going to talk about. I'll put them on for 4 to 5 days and say all offers reviewed next Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Right.
And that way you give a few more people through. And this is one thing about putting a house on the market. This is why I get more money for houses than if you just sold by owner, because I'm exposing it to many, many, many more qualified
buyers. It creates
buyers.
that frenzy as well. Hey, if you have any questions for the Loner Ranger, I'm at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. So I see that frenzy happening. And then so here's what Cleve does. He'll delay the evaluation of all offers to a certain point. Well, what do you think people want to do when they're in that environment? They're going to come in with a high offer. Then he'll take them and he'll say, okay, it's 4:00 on Wednesday. We've evaluated all the offers. If you want to change your offer, bring me your highest and best now.
Yeah, well, and that too. And also I get some questions sometimes. I'll have people quizzing me about the age of a hot water heater when we're in a multiple offer situation. I'm like, well, that buyer, you're not guiding that buyer right. You know, you're gonna inspect it. I've had maybe one house that I've seen inspected in my 30 years in real estate that I probably would not have bought. It was that bad. Out of thousands of inspections. So an inspection shouldn't, unless it's something just too catastrophic or $20,000 coming down the pipe at you when you buy it. But if it's a hot water heater or a little bit of termite damage and the property might need a $700 termite treatment, don't let that stop you from being in a house, because you and I always talk, and we do it on our wealth seminars, that you got to be, we don't know any rich renters. And you need to buy. You need to be in the game. And believe it or not, it's funny. Most of the time when I talk to people about what they want, if you're selling one house and buying another, it doesn't really matter if you wait. But right now, I would not wait, because they might be paying a 4% interest rate if they wait till the end of the year.
Well, let's just put it in perspective. You bought a house last year about this time, you have good credit, you would have had about a 2.75% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage with good credit, and you bought the house for $250,000. The same exact house. Now, what we were talking just a month or so ago went to $283,000, but right now we're seeing them at $300,000. So that house went up in a little over 12 months by $50,000. $50,000. Now you tell me, I don't know how you can do it, because I've never seen, and I got a pretty good financial planner, they don't make me that kind of money. Unless you got lucky and bought Tesla stock and got out at the right time, or your GameStop. Okay, that's too speculative. People are going to have
and we all need a place to live.
You got to have a place to live. So real estate is the best investment ever. And if you only got a 3% appreciation and you put 3.5% down on an FHA loan, you have an 86% return on your investment every year. 86%, guys. It's a no-brainer. 407-250-9144. That's the Loner Ranger, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. Cleve, how does our listeners find you?
407-352-8118, cleveloveland.com. And I've got some emails here from a gentleman having trouble with some tenants, and they're crying, woe is me, we can't pay. Well, the eviction moratorium may still be in effect depending on where you're at, but if your lease is up, you can sue to get the property back. If they're month to month, you can sue to get the property back. So if you have anybody having problems, I manage over 80 properties that we handle them and we treat them like gold. We make sure that the owners are making money off of them. Even in the midst of the lockdown, I only had 3 people not paying. They were slow paying. They were getting something done. We were understanding. We worked with them. We knew we weren't going to be able to rent to anybody else with the lockdown. But there are people that will take advantage. And once they do, and they keep taking advantage, no matter what story they tell you, it's time to get out.
Yeah, and you know what? It's we're not being unsympathetic to the people that truly lost their job, but a lot of people just think that because they can go into forbearance on a mortgage, they should go into forbearance. I had a client call me yesterday, and she says, well, I think I'll go into forbearance. Why, did you lose income? No, but my bank offered it to me. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's the most ridiculous thing. Don't do that to yourself. Don't think that there's a free lunch. There is no such thing as a free lunch. You know what mama said to you. You know what? Come on, man. Yeah, come on, man. I'm telling you, there is no free lunch. If you think it sounds too good to be true, it is. Don't take advantage of things that just don't make sense.
And one thing, if you're getting into this, you're thinking about getting into this market, I've got a great team that can, like I've had some people, their house will sell, I know, within multiple offers in the first couple of weeks. We'll be under contract. They're not sure where they're going to go. So 2 scenarios. We can show them around, get them an idea of what they want, or you can possibly get them qualified to buy that house without selling if they can afford it.
Right.
But that's one way to do it. And let's say they only had 5% to put down. Can you recast that mortgage?
Absolutely. So what we want to do is truly position you so that you are the transaction that's chosen, because there's going to be multiple offers. So it's large earnest money deposit, remove as many contingencies as you can, and all of them if possible, right? And get fast track for your mortgage so your loan is as close to as a cash buyer as you could possibly be. And then fourth, I personally will call the listing agent and guarantee a closing date, or I will pay the seller $100 a day for every day we miss that closing. I'm going to tell you something, that ain't going to happen. I'm not going to miss the closing. If you're fast tracked, you're fully approved with me, we're going to go to closing. Your job is to get me my documents as fast as you possibly can, and then I'll ensure that you're going to be safe and we're going to close on time. But most importantly, if you're not the one chosen, you're back in the car again and you're looking and looking and looking again. So look, we still only have, a month and a half of inventory, Cleve?
Yeah, about a month and a half, and it should ease up. Hopefully it won't go much lower. It just makes it tough on the buyers. And it's funny, the new construction is also having the same problem with their supply materials. Lumber's quadrupled in price, and they're just saying, well, okay, we're only going to build 10 homes in this neighborhood instead of, they might have 20 people ready to write contracts. They're only building a limited supply of homes, which is good. They overbuilt in the bubble. Another reason we won't have a bubble.
Well, they're doing that for multiple reasons, because they don't know what the cost to build is going to be in 6 months either.
Yeah. All right, real quick, I want to do the listings. So people can call me, because actually we're closing bidding on this house today. This is one of my new ones. This is in Apopka, Wakaiwa Manor, and this is a great starter home. $209,000. It is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, easily converted back. They took a wall down, made a bedroom extra big, so it's basically got 2 master bedrooms right now. You got a pool, 1,400 square feet. That is an above ground pool. Plenty of deck area out back. A 1-car garage. It's 1,400 square feet under air. Kitchen's been redone. Nice laminate flooring throughout for $209,000. Now, this is a great property to be in. Another one we talk about leapfrogging out of to rent this out. Great rents. Your mortgage payment on something like this probably only be $1,400. Rent for $1,600 or $1,700. Beautiful property for $208 in Apopka. I've got 40 acres. You need space? I've got 40 acres with a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home on it. 1,100 square foot cottage, all redone and renovated. We got 30. It's going to be it's like 39 acres. Used to be a nursery. You could divide these lots up. Talk to the county. I believe you're able to do 5-acre lots out of this 39 acres. So you can chop off 5-acre lots and save some for yourself. $442,000 in Umatilla, North Lake County, if you want to take a look at that. And then I've got a beautiful, I like the applause there. Beautiful house in South Bay. Gorgeous $880,000 home, 4,200 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths with a pool. Everything has been redone. Beautiful A-frame with big soaring ceilings, big windows in the front, just light the entire house up. Loads of sunlight coming in. A private bricked in, like a concrete wall around the property, almost half an acre. Everything's been redone. You got a bonus room.
That house is gorgeous.
It is a gorgeous custom home. Great example of South Bay, right in Dr. Phillips at $880,000. So you want to take a look. I had 2 others, but they've already sold.
Jumbo loans are attractive, man. I got some super great jumbo loans. That's a mortgage for over $556.
All right.
You want to buy that house, we can make that happen.
My phone number, 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or you can reach Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage, the loan arranger, at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or visit my website at webringyouhome.com. You want to find a fast and easy way to get approved for a mortgage? It doesn't get any better than webringyouhome.com. When we come back from the next break, I want to talk to Cleve a little bit about how you can position yourself in the market so that you truly are the winning offer. And if you don't want to buy the big production home and you don't want to get in the rat race of being behind 5 other people to purchase a home, then we're going to talk about our construction to perm program. We'll be back in just a minute with more of Cleve, Loveland, and the Lone Ranger Show.